Welcome to DIYEasyCrafts.com, how to make your own convertible picnic table that unfolds into a bench seat. This table is actually very easy to make, and it actually converts into two separate bench seats. Each of those benches, when put together and folded up, creates one picnic table. And here you see a picture of the table half up and half down. Construction is just with some 2x6s and 2x8 wood available at any lumber yard. To start the project, we're going to cut all of the wood to size, and you can pause either one of these images, which has the complete cut list. All of the angle cuts are going to be set at 22.5 degrees. And basically you just cut the quantity and the shape shown on this image as well as the next. Note that many of these measurements, the lengths, are measured corner to corner, as indicated on the previous image. The decking for the table as well as the bench are, of course, 90-degree angles. That's not an issue. I just use the chop saw. For all the angle cuts, I just set the chop saw at the 22.5 degrees, and I cut all my wood to size prior to starting to build any of the project. You start by assembling the leg assemblies, and basically you need two left-hand assemblies and two right-hand assemblies. I'm going to screw the backrest onto the cross member, just with 2.5-inch screws. And then I'm going to flip that over and secure the legs to that assembly. The front leg is pretty easy. You can line up the top as well as the front side and just make sure that they are flush, and then that's, again, 2.5-inch screws, 4 or 5 of them, secures that nicely. The back leg for each assembly is a little bit more complicated. It doesn't match up with the back corner. I just took a measurement right along the bottom edge of that cross member. It's 25.5 inches. Now, this does not have to be exact. It's not a critical measurement, but you should make all of the leg assemblies the same, just for aesthetics. So at 25.5 inches, I'm going to attach that leg, again with the 2.5-inch wood screws. And then here's two of my leg assemblies completed. It shows both a left hand and a right hand assembly. And the difference being that the legs are on the outside of each assembly and the back rest support is on the inside of both assemblies. You got to make sure you make two of each. The next step is to attach the decking to the bench portion, and I'm leaving about a 2-inch overhang on each side and about a 1/2-inch overhang on the very front of that bench. You can use the same 2.5-inch screws. It's a very quick project. And once both of those deck boards are 2x8s. Once both of those are in position, we can start working on the pivoting rail, and that rail is what we're going to attach the actual picnic table top to. Now, using a 3/8 drill, I'm going to drill the hole 2 inches down from the top and 1 3/4 inches in from the front side of that upright. I actually made a jig so that I could drill that hole precisely on both sides of each bench upright. And then I finished off the drill hole through that rail. If you don't drill that drill in that location, that rail may not pivot down correctly so that it clears the front of that rail. So what you want to end up with is a rail that's going to clear the front of that upward support with a bench on top of it. I used the 3/8 galvanized bolt to secure that. You don't want to tighten it up too much because it has to pivot. And then I'm going to attach the 2x8 decking to the table itself. All of these deck boards are cut 60 inches in length, and that kind of determines the length of this picnic table. If you wanted to make it slightly longer, you could. If you made it too much longer, you might have to add a middle bracket. I found these galvanized anchors that are 1/2 inch diameter. I use those. These pins go underneath that pivoting rail. You'll see in a second when I show you from the back side. So the rail actually sits on top of that pin. And there'll be one of those pins on each side of the bench. I also drilled a hole straight down into, or right below that bracket so that you could store that pin when it's not in use. I added a quick coat of paint, and I actually added some decorative fish onto the back of the bench. A very simple, very easy do-it-yourself project. Nice little picnic table. You easily pull the pins out from each side in order to convert it to a bench seat. The total cost of this was under $150. Please check us out on the web at DIYEasyCrafts.com. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I ask that you please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel.